Rare California here on the Vinyl Treasure Show, the Starlighters. August 1955 release on Jake Porter's Combo record label out of Hollywood, California. Their tune called Arlene. Let's continue here. Let's never get tired of this next group out of New York City. They only had 4 overall releases on Bess Berman's Apollo record label. Actually, one unreleased thing that was put out. Actually, I think it was on a Relic CD, and then it came out on a 45. But anyway, this officially, they only had 4 releases on Bess Berman's Apollo record label. The A-sides of all their 45s were novelty songs. Novelty songs like The Juicy Crocodile, The Bebop Mouse, What's the Matter for You, and their biggest hit, Rang Tang Ding Dong, I'm the Japanese Sandman. But the B-sides were mainly great ballads like You Took My Love, Under Your Spell, I Beg for Your Love, and this B-side, which was not a ballad but a great up-tempo tune. It's their third of 4 and a B-side on Bess Berman's Apollo record label, the B-side to the Bebop Mouse. This one from September 1957, the Cellos on Apollo with their tune called Girlie That I Love.
Girlie that I love, she's something special, a lifelong pride. The one I like, girlie that I love, yes, she's the girlie that I love. Well, she's sweet as she can be, and she belongs to me, I really love her so. That's why I never let her go, the girlie that I love, yes, she's the girlie that I love.
Great two-sided 45 there, but that's the B-side. The B-side, September 1957, released the Cellos there. The Cellos on Bess Berman's Apollo Records out of New York City. Girlie That I Love. Giant G, loving these sounds. I feature them every Saturday right here on Top Shelf Oldies, and I am lighter. I am 6.4 pounds lighter in this chair than I was last week, so that's 29.4 pounds in 9 weeks. And I was really quiet at the Weight Watcher meeting there. Barbara goes on Friday. I go on Saturday. I want her to come with me on Saturday. I do. Anyway, but I'm happy today, and I'm happy you're tuning into the Vinyl Treasure Show. So let's continue here. Got another fabulous flip side from the last 50s edition of the Vinyl Treasure Show as I played the A-side on a song called Marcia by this group from Clarksburg, West Virginia. They were known as the Prodigals. Now, the lead singer of the group, he wrote the B-side of the 45, and his name is Chuck Collins, and it was probably about his girlfriend, because the name of the tune is Judy. This one from January 1958, the Prodigals on the Falcon label. Give a listen to their tune called Judy. January 1958 release there for the Prodigals. The Prodigals there on the Falcon label division of VJ Records. Judy's the name of the tune. That is the flip side, the B-side to the up-tempo, Marcia, and featured Chuck Collins on lead. Let's continue here and have a female lead with male backing up next, as this group is out of New Haven, Connecticut. Actually, it's a tale of two groups from New Haven, Connecticut, as the female lead was one of the leads of a group called the Chestnuts, had two releases on Joe Davis's Davis label, and her backup group, they were known as the Pyramids. They were another New Haven group who the lead singer, this girl Ruby Whitaker, brought to Joe Davis's Davis label, and they had two releases on the Davis label also in 1956. So this songwriter, Benny Benjamin, who wrote both sides of this 45 that I'm featuring, heard the Pyramids singing and asked them if they would consider backing up Ruby Whitaker on his songs. And she agreed, and they decided to approach George Gollner to record this record. And George said yes and released it on his Mark X record label. So this one's from October 1957, Ruby Whitaker and the Pyramids on Mark X. Give a listen to the tune. It's called I Get the Feeling.
The feeling, the feeling. I get the feeling, the feeling, the feeling. I get the feeling. I
October 1957 release there for Ruby Whittaker and the Pyramids, George Goldner's Mark X record label. Song entitled I Get the Feeling. Well, John G gets the feeling every Saturday from 10 to midnight right here on Top Shelf Oldies to spin my original vinyl 45s. Hope you're digging on the tunes of the 50s and early 60s show. Let's stay with a George Goldner label, and let's stay with another New Haven, Connecticut artist, as I played the A side of this 45 a couple weeks ago by Johnny Firestone, who is really Al Lobo, who is really the cousin of Fred Paris, the lead of the Five Satins. Now, the song I played, did I say what the name of the song was that I played? Les? It's Is It Love was the side that I played. And Fred also wrote the B side of the record using the name A. Scott. I don't know A for Andy or Aaron or whoever, but he used that as a alias to Fred Paris. Now, the A side I played was called Is It Love, as I mentioned. This is the B side on George Goldner's Elmont record label, or at least he got involved with Elmont by the time of this release in November of 1958. It's Johnny Firestone, Elmont Records. The song is called It Happens Every Night.
It happens every night. Every night, I'm away from you until the day that you come home and all my dreams come true.
His name, I heard some chatter at the end of that record there. Johnny Firestone's his name, November 1958 release on the Elmont record label. It Happens Every Night. That is the B-side of the 45. It happens every Saturday here on Top Shelf Oldies. John G spinning original vinyl 45s. Let's continue here. We go back to the West Coast. We go to San Francisco, California, to the TV record label as I played the A-side of this song on the last 50s edition, a song called Are You My Girlfriend? Now, time for the B-side, which features Maury Williams on lead. This one from July of 1958. It actually did fairly well in the Bay Area, and Joe Carlton, owner of Carlton Records, he heard about it. He picked it up to distribute it nationally, but it just didn't pan out for the group. But it's a great two-sided 45. Let's give it a spin here. Maury Williams and the Kids is the name of the group. It's on the TV label. The B-side's called Louise.
want you twice. Oh, my darling, darling, could you be nice? Oh, Louis, my darling, I love you so. I told you once, I told you twice. Oh, darling, won't you please come back home? I told you oh, so many times, darling, you've been gone too long. Louis, I love you so. Oh, darling, darling, why did you go? Oh, Louis, my darling, I love you so. Louis, I love you so. Oh, darling, darling, why did you go? Oh, Louis, my darling, I love you so. I love you so.
B-sides here on the Vinyl Treasure Show, July 58. Maury Williams and the Kids. Song entitled Louise, originally on the TV record label. That's the label that I featured it on. You can also get it, you collectors out there, on the Carlton label. And this group went on to record one more on the Luck label, a song called Time Runs Out. Actually, two different versions of that song, which I do have. They don't sound that well as far as quality of record presses go, but they are two great versions, two great, one better than the other for sure. Let's say hi to Dale listening over in Rhode Island. Thank you, Dale, for stopping in the chat room and tuning in to the Vinyl Treasure Show. Also to my cousin Mike Cordelli, listening to Johnny G over in White Plains, New York. Let's continue here. Let's go to Detroit, Michigan, to Devorah Brown's Fortune subsidiary, High Q Records. Now, this group would later back up someone by the name of Floyd Smith on the Fortune label. But before that, they had this release on the High Q label. And it's easy to find the 1960s presses of this, but not easy to find the original copies for you collectors out there with the double lines. It's written by the lead singer. His name is Eugene Arnold. This is with Ted Walker and the orchestra. This one from November of 1957. Give a listen to the Montclairs. The Montclairs from Detroit, Michigan. This is on the High Q label. The song is called Golden Angel.
My golden angel, you came from above. Heaven must have sent you to be my love. I love you so.
November 1957 release there for a group called the Montclairs. The Montclairs from Detroit, Michigan there. Eugene Arnold on lead. It mentions it on the label. Devorah Brown's High Q record label. High Q 5001. 5000 is another rare 45. I'll get that one on in a future Vinyl Treasure show. But that's Golden Angel. Remember buying that 45 from Seymour Simon. Seymour Simon, if you're out there, I'm playing your 45s. We'll send it out to you. Anyway, enough of my babbling here. John G spinning original vinyl 45s. Here's one that cost me a few bucks here. This rare 45. I can find no info on the group. And Charlene nor I could find any information about this group. Ferdy says it's from 1958. It's on a label called Juno Records, Juno Record Company. And I'm playing the B-side of the 45, which is the better side, in my opinion. I really like this tune. It's on a pink Juno label, and it's Leading Music Publishing. Maybe they'll ban this record on my YouTube account. Who knows? But anyway, the writer is Larry. It's got to be his last name. But anyway, let's give it a spin. 1958 on the Juno label. Posted this one on my Facebook page. Give a listen to the Romans. The Romans with their tune called You Are My Only Love.
Do, 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 do.
$19.58 there for the Romans. The Romans on the Juno label. Out of New York City, their song entitled You Are My Only Love. Let's also say hi to Andrew Turner tuning in to the Vinyl Treasure Show. He's digging on the sounds here. Let's continue here for this next group out of the state of New Jersey. They are called the Shantons. They had 3 releases on John Matucci's J-Mar record label. Now, the lead singer for the group, his name is Skip Brown. Later on, he changed his name to Skip Jackson, who rewrote this song. It was arranged by band leader Billy Muir. It's the second of 3 for the Shantons here on the J-Mar record label. This is the rarest 45 to pick up by them. And let's see, earlier, who were the girls that we played records with the names, the girls' names? We heard Arlene, we heard Judy, we heard Louise, but we haven't heard from Lucille. I didn't plan it this way. I didn't, folks. But anyway, it just happened that I just decided to say it. These are the Shantons from 1959 with lead singer Skip Brown on lead on Jamar Records. Give a listen to their tune. It's called Lucille.
Lucille, Lucille, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you, I do, somebody, 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 whoa, 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 somebody, whoa, whoa. Lucille, Lucille, can never live without your love. By the light that shines up above. I love you so. I love you so. Lucille, Lucille, oh, can't let you go. Let you go. Oh, I love you so. I love you so. You're my heart's desire. You set my soul afire. I want you, I need you, I do, really, really do. I love you so, dear, I can't let you go. Deeply say you want me to, I want me to. Lucille, Lucille, can never live without your love. By the light that shines up above. I love you so. I love you so. Well, you're my heart's desire. You set my soul afire. I want you, I need you, I do, really, really do. I love you so, dear, I can't let you go. You say you want me to, well, want me to. Lucille, Lucille, can never live without your love. By the light that shines up above. I love you so. I love you so.
From 1959 there, those are the Shantons. The Shantons there on the Jamar record label. Skip Brown on lead. Also Skip Jackson. Later on, he changed his name. Skip Jackson did a cool soul tune on the, what is it, the Dotmar label, I think maybe from 1969. I have that 45. Yes, I do. Shantons there with their tune called Lucille. John G here spinning my original 1950s and early 60s 45s. We're not into the 1960s yet, but we will get there soon enough. And earlier in the show, I played the Love Notes on the Riviera label that was owned by Eddie Heller. And I neglected to mention that Eddie Heller named band leader Eddie Wilcox as the general manager in 1954 to run that Riviera record label, but unfortunately the label folded after a short time. And but in June of 1959, Wilcox teamed up with another band leader, Teddy McRae, to form two new labels in 1959. And you collectors might be familiar with the Enrica label and another label called Ray Cox Records. And up next is the third overall release on the Ray Cox label by this group called The Sunsets. And this is the A-side of their only release. We go back to July of 59 for The Sunsets on Ray Cox. Give a listen to their tune. It's called How Will I Remember?
How will I remember when you said we were through? Lying lips, I remember. Broke my heart into. Just a kiss in the moonlight.
as I sit by my window with nothing to do, just holding my heart, dear. Memories of you. Yes, it hurts to remember when I said we were through. For each tear that I shed, dear, brings back the memories of you. Memories of you.
July 1959 release there for a group called the Sunsets. The Sunsets on the Ray Cox record label. Eddie Wilcox, Teddy McRae's label there. Song entitled How Will I Remember? And that was the A side of the 45. Unfortunate that nothing much came from the efforts of Wilcox and his partner as they tried to capture the teenage record buying public. But they unfortunately failed. A lot of good records on the label, don't get me wrong. But they just really didn't have, I guess, the promotion for it. Anyway, enough of my babbling here. JohnnyGs spinning 1950s and early 60s 45s out of my collection. How many more of the 50s? What, 1, 2, 3, 4 more 45s from the 1960s. And let's give a listen to another B-side from the last 50s edition. I played a rare one on a David Hearst Gaiety label out of Minneapolis, Minnesota. The song was called Two Hearts Make One Love. That was the ballad side. The group was called The Wisdoms. Here is the B-side of the 45. Came out in July of 1959. Let's give a spin to The Wisdoms. The Wisdoms on Gaiety. Their tune is called Lost in Dreams.
Lost in dreams, oh, 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 lost in dreams, oh, 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 lost in dreams, oh, 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 lost in dreams, that I had last night, lost in dreams, I dreamt I held you tight, please, my dear, why don't you treat me right now? If dreams came true, my darling, I would always be with you, and I wouldn't worry as I do. So much, my darling, about you. Oh, 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 lost in dreams that I had last night, lost in dreams. I dreamt I held you tight, please, my dear. Why don't you treat me right now? If dreams came true, my darling, I would always be with you, and I wouldn't worry as I do. So much, my darling, about you. Oh,
That group called the Wisdoms. The Wisdoms from July 1959. That's the B-side on the Gaiety label out of Minneapolis, Minnesota. The Wisdoms with that tune called Lost in Dreams. Actually, I like the A-side better, the ballad side. Two Hearts Make One Love. Jerry Diaz sold me that record. That's the first record he ever sold me, and probably the best deal I ever got from Mr. Diaz. Everything else was, let's say, expensive. John G babbling on here for a Saturday evening. Let's continue here. Another relatively unknown 45 from me. Ashley, me nor Charlene could find any info on this record, and it's a single artist, a white vocalist, with his lone release on a label called Zip Records, ZIP. It's a green label, a nice lime green label there. All Star Music is the publishing. The writer is called Ivino. And I couldn't find any information, but this is the intended B-side of the 45. Also came out in 1959. Let's give it a spin. Bobby Longo. Bobby Longo on Zip. The name of the tune is called Why You Left Me. His name is Bobby Longo. Bobby Longo, 1959 release on the Zip record label. The Zip label there, song entitled Why You Left Me. I don't even know where the label is from. Some of these oddball 45s. So many records. Yes, John G here spinning 1950s and early 60s. We're almost in the early 60s. Got two more to go here. And earlier we heard from a group from Roxbury, Massachusetts. Well, here is a group from Lawrence, Massachusetts. This was a 7-man self-contained group that met in high school and started singing back in 1955. They appeared at local events and parties and clubs. And because they hung out together in front of a dry cleaning establishment called Supreme Cleaners, they chose to be named the Supremes, a very common name back in the 50s and the 60s, by the way. They had this lone release that came out on the Kitten record label. Posted this one on my Facebook page. This nice red label, Kitten Records, features Ralph Murphy on lead. Go back to 1958 for the Supremes on Kitten and their tune called Could This Be You?
When that new love is yours. with eyes as bright as the stars above, and a heart that was made to be true. Could this be you? Could this be you? Could this be you? Could this be you? Oh, please help me find the one that my heart longs for, to kiss me with all her might, and I'll hold her just as tight. Could this be you? Could this be you? Could this be you? Could this be you? If somebody hears my plea, help me solve this mystery. Do this great big thing for me. Help me solve this mystery. Oh, please help me find the one that my heart longs for. Hold me, kiss me, never let me go. Could this be you? Could this be you? Could this be you? Could this be you? Oh, please help me find the one that my heart longs for. Hold me, kiss me, never let me go. Could this be you? Could this be you? Could this be you? Could this be you?
That's a group from Massachusetts called the Supremes. The Supremes there on a label called Kitten Records. Song entitled Could This Be You, 1958 release. Let's continue here. And last one here out of 1959 is this is the debut single for this R&B singer-songwriter from West Point, Mississippi. Was the first artist to have a hit for Berry Gordy's Motown empire. And of course, that song was called Money, That's What I Want. Came out on the and also came out on the Tamla record label. But this is his first record, pretty rare 45 for those Motown collectors that are looking to collect all the releases on the Motown label. This is a pretty rare one. I got to thank Carl Pellegrino from Detroit for selling me this 45 a number of years ago, and it's a hard one to find by him. I'm talking about Barrett Strong, this one from April 1959. It's on the Tamla label. Barrett Strong with his tune called Let's Rock.
Let's rock, come on and move your feet, my baby. Rock, 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 rock. Let's rock, oh, don't you feel our beat, my baby? Rock, 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 rock. Keep on dancing, no time for romance, and let's rock, 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 let's rock, rock, rock.
Rare Motown sounds here for a Saturday evening. Johnny spinning original vinyl 45s out of my collection. That's on the Tamla record label, April 1959 release. Barrett Strong on Tamla with a song entitled Let's Rock. We rock every Saturday right here from 10 to midnight. Let's continue. Let's go back to Los Angeles, California, as three members of this group had previously sung with the 16s. The 16s on the Flip record label. Sure you know their tune, A Casual Look. And those three members were Kenny Sinclair, Darryl Lewis, and Jimmy Smith, as this is the group's debut single, which features Jimmy Smith on lead. He would go on to have some solo efforts, I think, on the Flip label. But this one charted regionally, number 54 on KFXM out of San Bernardino, California. This is on George Brown's Titan label. This one from July 1960. We are in the early 60s, July 1960, on the Titan label for a group called The Elements. The Elements, give a listen to their tune called Lonely Hearts Club.
Do 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 do.
Lonely Hearts Club, here I stand to meet my new love, my old love. Did me so wrong, and I'm begging you to find me a new love. I want her to be just like the one before. Oh yes, to love me, oh darling, yes, just a little bit more. Yes.
Want her to be
Want her to be
like an angel.
a vision of happiness.
Tenderly,
Tenderly,
kindly,
and to let her only be love, and behold, it's had to be you. Oh no, I didn't want you, darling, and now that I see you, I wanna thank you. Yes, I wanna thank you now. I said I wanna thank you. I wanna thank you now. Yes, I wanna thank you. I said
Sound of California here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. We'll send it out to lovely Linda, currently in the Top Shelf Oldie Charm. She likes that tune by The Elements, July 1960 release on the Titan record label, song entitled Lonely Hearts Club. And after this release, with a couple of group changes, they changed their name to the Elgins, had releases on the Titan label, the Flip label, and the Lumtone record label. Let's continue. We are in the early 1960s. Let's go back to New York City for this group called The Lovers, as they have this lone release on the Keller label, which was out of 1619 Broadway in New York City. And according to Louis Silvani, this group has ties to the Quintones that recorded for the G label in 1956. Very rare 45 on G that I have featured here, a song called I'm Willing. But this one is from 1961. They're called The Lovers. This is the A side of the 45 on Keller, a song called Strange as It Seems.
Shoo, shoo,
sea. I still love you, still love you. The kisses we shared, the love that we knew, was more than a passing romance. So darling, forgive me, I'm pleading with you. Give this fool just one more chance. Strange as it seems, a lesson I've learned. I'm playing with fire. My heart got burned. For strange as it seems, I still love you. Oh, oh,
May 1961 release there for the Lovers on the Keller label. Song entitled Strange as It Seems. Linda mentions in the chat room that 1619 Broadway was the Brill Building, and what's going through my head is I watched this show on, I don't know, I think it's HBO or Showtime, I forget, a show called Vinyl, and they have their office in the Brill Building in the early 70s, and you see him walking into, I mean, they show the at the front of the building, and they're going in there, and of course so many things happened in the Brill Building for so many years. Anyway, John G babbling on here as we continue. We are in the early 1960s. We go to Cincinnati, Ohio for this next group, as the members of this group were purportedly truck drivers, which accounts for their name, as they were called the Drivers. They had 3 releases on the deluxe record label in 1956 and 57. They had another on RCA. They had one on the Lynn label, and this one, which is a King custom press on the Drive label. How appropriate. Here are the Drivers on Drive. Features Willie Price on lead. It's from 61. Give a listen to their tune. It's called No One for Me.
I've been talked about, I've done without. There's been so much doubt in my heart. I shout for that one. No, 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 for me. Oh, I
That's a sound out of 1961 by a group called The Drivers on the Drive record label. Cool tune there, song entitled No One For Me. Remember buying that 45 from Mike Demerjian from Massachusetts. Hope he is doing well. Haven't heard from him in years and years and years. And Mike, I hope you are doing well. John G here spinning 1950s and now 1960s original vinyl 45s out of my collection. We continue here with a group out of Louisville, Kentucky. Now, the A side of this 45 was played quite a bit by a New York disc jockey, Gus Gossard. He played this one a lot, or the A side a lot on his show. And it's the group's only release, came out on the Leslie label, and Gus would play the A-side, which was called You Told Another Lie. I don't recall him really playing the B-side of the 45, but when I bought my copy, which first was a reproduction, believe it or not, and later on, a few years later, I did get the original. I wore out both sides of the record. Now, the lead singer goes by the name of Robert Little Pete Downs, came out in August of 1962, Leslie Records, Little Pete and the Youngsters. This is the B-side, a song called I'll Never Leave You Again. B-sides here on the Vinyl Treasure Show from August 1962. Little Pete and the Youngsters. Little Pete and the Youngsters on the Leslie record label. I'll Never Leave You Again. That is the B-side to You Told Another Lie. Of course, you're going to hear that one on next week's Vinyl Treasure Show. Let's continue here. Here's a 45 from May 1960s on the Dot record label. I love the Dot label because they would date their 45s. At the bottom of the label, they would give the month and the year of the release. This one says May 1960 for this group called the Embers. Of course, the Embers, a very popular name for a group back in the 50s and early 60s, as this group of Embers had two releases on the Dot record label. This is the first of two in the year 1960. The Embers with their tune called Wait for Me.
So, wait for me, but I've got to go, and that's the way it's got to be. Though I'd be gone, it won't be for long. Oh, darling, won't you wait for me? Please wait for me. Ever I roam, will be home, and you'll sin somewhere at the end. Oh, darling, won't you wait for me? Wait for me. Don't stop yourself from dancing. Girl, I want you to have a good time. But if you start romancing, yes, remember, you're mine. Wherever I roam, my thoughts will be home, and you will always see. For letters that I send somewhere at the end, oh, darling, won't you wait for me? Darling, won't you wait for me? Wait for me, wait for me, wait for me, wait for me.
Nice tune there by a group called The Embers. The Embers, the first of two. They recorded on Randy Wood's Dot record label, May 1960. The Embers with a tune called Wait for Me. You got to wait for Johnny G every Saturday starting at 10 p.m. right here on Top Shelf Oldies, 10 to midnight. Sometimes we do overtime. Always we do overtime, but we'll see how long we'll go for tonight. And let's continue. Got a cover song up next on the Vinyl Treasure Show, as this song was first recorded by a Los Angeles group called the Castle Tones. Came out on the Rift record label, but the lead singer of Rochelle and the Candles liked the song too, and he decided to record it with a group. And I'm talking about Johnny Wyatt. Johnny Wyatt was the lead of Rochelle and the Candles, and you recall that tune they do called Once Upon a Time. Well, here he is with a group called the High Tones. From May of 1962, we go to Big Time Records. Not an easy 45 to find. Johnny Wyatt and the High Tones with his rendition of the tune We Met at a Dance.
Dancing, dancing, oh, dancing. We met at a dance one Saturday night. The orchestra was playing while I held her tight as she introduced herself to me while we were dancing, dancing, oh, dancing. The lights was low and the music was slow, and that was my chance to find true romance as she introduced herself to me while we were dancing, dancing, dancing. As we came face to face in that sweet embrace, with all the stars in our eyes, I knew right from the start that she had came into my heart, and no one could ever take her place. Oh, the touch of her hand, and it was oh so grand. While we wandered into Loveland, and she introduced herself to me while we were dancing, dancing. Oh, we were dancing, dancing. Oh, dancing, dancing, dancing.
Cover tunes here on the Vinyl Treasure Show for Johnny Wyatt and the High Tones. May 1962 on the big time record label, Rare 45 there. Hard to find that record. We Met at a Dance, originally recorded by the Castletones in 1959. They do a great rendition of that one too, that original. Anyway, Johnny G here. Let's continue. When I came across this next 45, it looked very interesting. And what do I tell you collectors, if you're coming across records and you see Sammy Lowe or Tico Wilshire or Horace Ott for the soul records, there's a few that will identify really good records to buy on the fly, especially if they're cheap, as this one was. But I saw the arranger as Tico Wilshire, and not to mention the record is also under the direction of Eddie Singleton. So I said, I'm going to buy this 45. And it's a duo by the name of Prince Eddie and David G. Now, Prince Eddie, he gets the writer credit, but his real name is Prince Eddie M. McDowell. And it's on a label called Skytone Records. It's out of 1650 Broadway in New York City. And supposedly, this record came out in January of 1963, although to me it sounds earlier than that. Well, let's give it a spin here. It's by Prince Eddie and David G. January 63 release, Skytone Records. The name of the tune is called Jesse James.
Jesse James was the king of the West. Everybody know that he was the best. Now, every time he came to town, women they came from miles around because he was Jesse James. Now, oh Jesse. One day with his guns in his hand, Jesse went on a mountain man stand. Now, just to show the people he was the man, and he could steal every girl on that stand because he was Jesse James. Now, oh Jesse. One day he came to town. The Duke of Earl didn't want him around. He wanted his girl Sally Brown. That's when I heard the Duke cry. Please shoot it down, and I said, shoot him, Jesse, shoot him, Jesse. Shoot him, Jesse. Shoot him, you know that one day he was riding alone. Poor Jesse trying to make it back home now. But he knew his horse went lame. So Jesse just had to wiggle wobble his name because he was Jesse James. Now, oh Jesse. One day he came to town. The Duke of Earl didn't want him around. He wanted his girl Sally Brown. That's when I heard the Duke cry. Please don't shoot me down, but I said, shoot him, Jesse, shoot him, Jesse, right now. My. I shoot him now. Now come on, yeah, I shoot him now. Hey, now come on now, yeah, now come on now.
Skytone Records out of New York City there for Prince Eddie and David G. January 63 release, a song entitled Jesse James. Let's continue here. Go back. Stay in New York City. Stay in New York City for this next 45. Really don't know much about it, but this artist, he would have 3 later releases on the A&M record label in 1969, and his name is Jimmy Richards. But prior to his 1969 A&M releases, he recorded this one on the Levette label. It's from April of 64. Give a listen to Jimmy Richards and his tune called I'm Blue.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Oh yeah. Now that baby, oh yeah, since you've been gone. And I wanna say this, little girl. Oh, my life, my love, my soul, I give unto you. Oh, yes, I do. What more can I say? What more can I do? 'Cause you know that I love you. Oh, I'm blue. Oh yeah. Now that I'm all alone. I'm blue, baby. Since you've been gone. Come on, back for baby. No, don't leave me, Oh, I don't love nobody, baby. I don't love nobody, nobody but you, baby. Oh, come on.
I like that tune there. So does Linda. And someone's going to have to tell Warren, because Warren's going to like that tune there by Jimmy Richards and a group, bass and everything in the background there. April 64. April 64 sound on the Levette record label. Jimmy Richards, his name. A song entitled I'm Blue. John G is here. Hopefully you're not blue listening to these cool 45s out of my collection. We are in Vinyl Treasure Overtime, so we'll continue for a little bit here. Let's go to this next group that recorded this song in Hollywood, California at Gold Star Studios, released on the label called Eden Records. I think that label owned by Lee Hazelwood. He wrote and produced the song, this one arranged by Jack Nietzsche. This group also recorded as the Sinners on the Eden label, and the lead singer was also a member of a group called the Shacklefords, and they recorded on the Mercury record label. He also recorded as Albert Stone. This guy goes by the name the group goes by the name of the Hondas. And Daniel Stone is on lead. This one from September 1962, Eden Records. Give a listen to their tune. It's called 12 Feet High.
Well, I never had a money, and I guess I look sort of funny, but I kinda think I'm a lucky guy. Well, I'll never be a hero. I always thought I was a zero, until my baby told me I was 12 feet high. My baby don't lie. She don't lie when I baby don't lie. Oh, when I'm with her, I feel a 12 feet high. Since my baby told me I was a 12 feet high, my baby don't lie, she don't lie. When I'm with her, I feel a 12 feet high.
September 1962 release there for a group called the Hondas. The Hondas, although Lee Hazelwood wrote the song, someone else recorded it before this group. I just can't remember. I know this is not the original, though, but it's the Hondas. The Hondas with Daniel Stone on lead. Song entitled 12 Feet High on the Eden record label. Let's continue. We are in Vinyl Treasure Overtime. Got an ultra rare 45 on turntable number 1. And it's on the Galaxy label, subsidiary of Fantasy Records. I posted this one up on my Facebook page. It's a request. Jose Perez from Seaside, California. He was corresponding with your host, Johnny G, on the last 50s edition of the Vinyl Treasure Show. And he was asking me if I had a few records. And I've had them all, I think, except one that he requested. But he wanted to hear this rare one on Galaxy for this group that formed in Lincoln Heights in Los Angeles, California. But it was unfortunate, so unfortunate, that Galaxy Records released this in 1964 during the British invasion. There was no way, a snowball's chance in hell, that this record was going to make it in 1964. It was produced by Cliff Goldsmith, that earlier in his career did a lot of work with the Olympics, had some hits with the Olympics, some novelty hits with the Olympics. But this one is from 1964, Galaxy Records, by request for Jose. This one for the showcases. The showcases on Galaxy. The name of the tune is called This Love Was Real.
This love, this love was real.
Was this love that was so wonderful that no one in this world could calmly share the happiness. And as I look at the heavens up above, I still perceive that love that was dear to me because
love that was dear to me. And I know, yes I know,
By request for Jose Perez over in Seaside, California. Ultra rare 45. Great harmonies there, but much too late. 2 or 3 years too late for that record. The Showcases, 1964, Galaxy Records. Song entitled This Love Was Real. Later, maybe a year later after this, they recorded as Mr. Zulu and the Warriors. Release on the Score label. Nice red vinyl on that 45. I might have played that one here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. We are in Vinyl Treasure Overtime. Let's continue for a few more. Let's go back for this female singer. She's from Brooklyn, New York. She had another release on the Jeffrey label, a song called Dear Ricky. I have that 45 by her, by the way, but here's one she recorded on the Colpix label. She co-wrote the tune, which was produced by Don Costa, as this one bubbled under on the Billboard Hot 100, was number 118 on the Billboard bubbling under charts. This one came out in May of 62. Her name is Vicky Tasso. Vicky Tasso. It's on Colpix Records. Give a listen to her tune. It's called The Sound of the Hammer.
There were many names stood out from the rest. There was a railroad which had to be made. Along that trail every man was afraid. And there was only one man who could do this job. Tall Tex, I heard the sound of the hammer. Whoa, whoa, the hammer. He took a 10-pounder hammer and a piece of rail and laid them along that patchy trail. Sweet little wife, she cried, "Tex, don't go." He kept a swinging at a hammer, driving iron spikes low. I heard the sound of the hammer. Whoa, whoa, the hammer. And one hot day, about sundown, the engines were coming from all around. Tex took his hammer in his hand, fought those engines like a 40 men. The sweet little wife, she cried, "Tex, don't go." He kept a swinging at a hammer, driving iron spikes low. I heard the sound of the hammer. Whoa, whoa, the hammer. It was the bloodiest battle that a man ever seen. You could hear that a hammer back in New Orleans as he slayed all the savages and laid them to rest and carved their names upon his chest. His sweet little wife, she cried, "Tex, don't go." He kept a swinging at a hammer, driving iron spikes low. I heard the sound of the hammer. Whoa, whoa, the hammer. When the work was through, he laid his hammer down. If he'd have kept at a hammer, he'd be still around. If the story was a legend, I don't know. They say Tex got killed at the Alamo. The sweet little wife, she cried, "Tex, don't go." He kept a swinging at a hammer, driving iron spikes low. Sweet little wife, she cried, "Tex, don't go." But Tex got killed at the Alamo. I heard the sound of the hammer. Whoa, whoa, the hammer. Sound of the hammer. Whoa, whoa, the hammer. Sound of the hammer. Whoa, whoa, the hammer. Sound of
May 62 release there for Vicky Tasso. Vicky Tasso on the Colpix record label, a song entitled The Sound of the Hammer. John G got hammered at work. Yes, I did, but really can't talk about it, but maybe it won't be that bad anyway. But let's continue. Here we are in Vinyl Treasure Overtime. This next gal, originally from Brooklyn, New York, but she relocated out to California, had her first release on Sid Nathan's Federal Records in 1955. She recorded for other labels through the years on the Veltone record label and some other labels, and I'm featuring her on the Checker label. This one's a cool record by her. I like this one. She had 9 releases on the Checker label. This is her third. She's being backed up with a group called the La Femmes, and it's with Joe Hudson's band. This one released in October of '63. Give a listen to Sugar Pie DeSanto. Sugar Pie DeSanto on the Checker label. Her tune called Crazy Lovin'. I like that tune there by Sugar Pie DeSanto. October 1963 release there on the Checker record banner. Cool tune there. Her third of 9 she recorded on the Checker label, song entitled Crazy Love. Well, that's going to do it for Johnny G and the Vinyl Treasure Show. I want to thank you for joining Johnny G, listening to original vinyl 45s out of my collection. You want to get in touch with Johnny G, send me an email at vinyltreasures@aol.com. You can also contact me at johnnygvinyltreasures@gmail.com. I'm going to get this show up on my archive, vinyltreasures.net. And also, it'll be up. I've been recording it for the Ustream broadcast. We'll see what YouTube does. They said that they're monitoring my show for how much activity I'm getting, but I keep on telling them I'm not making any money on this. It's like all my blood and effort and time that I spend putting in the show for the listeners. And it's my hobby that I'm sharing with the listeners, and you're giving me grief. It is amazing. It is amazing. And then they want me to pay royalty payments too, is what it is. But it's just stupid, in my opinion. And maybe I just should shut down altogether because of those copyright idiots. Anyway, enough of my babbling here, but that's going to do it, folks. Hope you enjoyed the tunes this evening. We're going to close the show tonight. A record out of Kansas City, Missouri, and this one on a label called Lauren Records came out in 1962. It's by Roger Calkins with the Holidays, with the Carolyn Wantlin Singers. And the closer for tonight is a song called Good Night Baby. How appropriate for that. But want you to tune in to Top Shelf Oldies tomorrow evening. My buddy Dave the Rave and his Relics and Rarities show starting at 9 p.m. right here, 9 to midnight right here on Top Shelf Oldies. That's going to do it, folks. Want everybody to have a safe and happy week. I'll see you here next Saturday for my 1950s and early 60s edition of the Vinyl Treasure Show. Just want to say, everybody, so long.
The party's over, the dancing's through. We're all alone now, just me and you. We've got just time to say a word or two. The whole town's talking, I guess they know. I really love you, I love you so. It's getting late now, it's time to go. Sometimes I'm happy, sometimes I'm blue. The way I feel depends on you. Tell me you love me just one more time. Your kind of loving is so divine. It won't be long now until you're mine. I do the mountain, that's what I do. I'd swim an ocean to be with you. Tell me you love me just one more time. Your kind of loving is so divine. It won't be long now until you're mine.